Chapter 20. The new day dawned in a haze of soft sunlight. It crept across the countryside suddenly to expand and burst forth over all the peaceful woods and meadowland. Blue gold tinged with pink, each dewdrop turned in a scintillating jewel. Spiders' webs became glittering filigree. Birdsong rang out as if there had never been a day as fresh and beautiful as this one. The extravaganza of nature's glory was completely lost upon Cluny the Scourge. His one good eye squinted upwards through the smoke of the morning campfires. It's going to be as hot as the hell's furnace, but at least it won't rain, he muttered aloud to himself. Under the impatient eye of the warlord, Cluny's horde gulped down a hasty meal and scurried about picking up weapons. Suitably geared for battle, they quickly fell into ranks. Cluny's personal armorer put the final touches to his chief's war apparel. With the tip of the standard, Cluny signaled his captains, Darkclaw, Frogblood, Fangburn, Cheese Thief, Scumnose, and Mangefur scrambled into their positions. As yet, Cluny had not chosen a new second-in-command, though he had let it be known that any of his followers who distinguished himself in the coming battle would receive immediate promotion in the field. Kilconey the Ferret stood alongside his chief with a drum that he had made from an old water butt. He had unofficially appointed himself drummer cum soothsayer. The ferret watched Cluny intently. The chief was going to speak. He banged the drum, calling the horde to silence. Cluny lifted the visor of his war helmet and stared out across the waiting horde. "This time, there will be no mistakes," he yelled. "And there will be no retreat. We stay, even if it means putting Redwall to siege. We stand firm. Anyone who takes one backward step is dead. Anyone who disobeys orders is dead. Anyone who does not fight tooth and claw with all his might is also dead. That is my promise, and Cluny always keeps his word. Hear me! All we face is a lot of peaceful mice and some local woodland creatures. Defeat them, and I will give you rewards you never dreamed of. The enemy are not trained fighters like we are, not natural killers. There is not one among them who can lead as I lead you." At the center of the front rank stood a rat who had been wounded in the first encounter at the Abbey. He whispered out the corner of his mouth to his comrade in arms alongside him.
"Needs us my foot. Last time we attacked, he stood well out of the way, back in some meadow."
The sharp ears of Cluny had caught what the unfortunate soldier had said. The warlord leaped down from his rostrum and seized the trembling miscreant, booting him forward into plain view of the army. "See this traitor!" Cluny shouted. "Here's a rat who doesn't think I lead my horde. Cluny the Scourge sees and hears all. Watch now, and let this be a lesson to anyone that dares doubt me." The wretched rat soldier lay shaking on the churchyard path. A hush fell across the entire horde. He stared beseechingly into the merciless eye of Cluny.
"Please, Chief, it was only a joke. I didn't mean to."
Crack! The powerful tail whipped expertly out, slashing across the rat's face with its poison metal war barb. The army looked on in horror as the stricken victim shuddered and lay dead at Cluny's feet. Ignoring the slain soldier, Cluny the Scourge pushed his way roughly through the horde until he reached the cemetery gates. It was going to be a long march to Redwall, burdened as they were with the battering ram and all the paraphernalia of destruction. They would have to camp overnight by the roadside, and the great attack upon Redwall would take place early the next day. There was to be no secrecy. For maximum effect, the army must be seen marching boldly up to the very gates of the abbey in full array. Cluny shook his standard. As the ferret's drum thundered out, he roared madly. On to Redwall! Smash the gates! Kill! Kill! The shimmering heat waves from the road reverberated to the shouts of the horde. Cluny! Cluny! Kill! Kill! Kill!